Hello and welcome to today's weekend update. There is so much going on around the world and our country that I had to come on and share some of what's happening, and some of it is absolutely terrifying. Near the end of this video, I'll show you some shocking video of what's going on in other countries around the world as governments seek to oppress their people and keep them from accessing necessary resources. The United States is dealing with an overabundance of unfilled jobs. There are roughly 11 million open jobs. One reason President Biden and the White House continue to say we aren't in recession territory and we won't end up in a recession is because of the low unemployment numbers. Currently, unemployment is sitting at 3.6%, with room to go down as there are now over 11 million open jobs ready to be filled. But we all know we are heading into a recession, but they won't admit it because it will hurt them reputation-wise and also as we head into the November election cycle. However, a Republican is stirring up a lot of angry feedback. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell said the labor market shortage will correct itself when people run out of money. They're already running out of money. He believes Americans who could be working aren't because they have too much cash. They've got too much money. But he says this won't last forever. He said, you've got a whole lot of people sitting on the sidelines because, frankly, they're flush for the moment. What we've got to hope is once they run out of money, they'll start concluding it's better to work than not to work. Now, are you flush with money? Do you just have so much money sitting around that you can afford to not go to work? Let me know in the comments. There might be some of you, but I have a sneaking suspicion it's not very many people in my community. Now, Senator McConnell then blamed Biden for the raging inflation by passing the $1.9 trillion stimulus package using budget reconciliation. He said the country didn't need the help. What they needed was just to reopen and get people back to work. He then hinted that stimulus checks helped people so much it gave them money and an excuse not to go to work. This is when you truly see just how out of touch and dysfunctional Washington, D.C. bureaucrats really are. Biden, on the one hand, thinks that spending almost $4 trillion extra dollars had nothing to do with the high inflation we're living with right now. While on the flip side, Mitch McConnell believes people were given so much money that they can just sit home and do nothing, right? Doesn't he forget that a measly $1,400 doesn't go very far in the United States? So I don't know what kind of crack this guy's smoking, but this is what both sides are telling you, right? They're both telling you lies so that you will be passive. Well, other countries, they're no longer being passive. We'll get to that later. However, he gives almost no acknowledgement that many families, men and women, aren't able to go back to work because they're not able to find work in what they specialize in, or they can't get access to daycare, or daycare in their area has become too expensive. The truth is, the United States government has caused most of the financial headaches we're all trying to recover from, and they take almost no accountability for this. For example, the Inspector General of the Department of Labor put out a report yesterday showing that Americans were wrongfully paid $77 billion for unemployment. So $77 billion that they just goofed on because they were trying to get so much money out the door. Now, members of Congress want to spend hundreds of millions of dollars trying to recoup some of that $77 billion. So if you received unemployment money, the U.S. government might be coming after you. So they caused this problem. They overpaid you, and now they're going to try to extract that money back out of you while we're living through the highest inflation in 40 years. I mean, it's absolutely asinine what they do sometimes. And isn't it funny that the government made this $77 billion mistake, and now they're blaming the middle class and lower income families that financially don't have the resources to pay back the money? Like, take some accountability. You made a mistake. Let's move forward. It wasn't like these people were committing fraud. This was literally the government's mistake. It's crazy. President Biden and his administration announced last night they are ready to send another $400 million of U.S. taxpayer money to Ukraine. This will be the 15th financial aid package to Ukraine. So Americans got 3 financial aid packages, and Ukraine's on 15. But who's counting, right? I'm certainly not, right? I'm just telling you what's in the news today. Yesterday, Bloomberg News host Jonathan Ferro asked one of Biden's top economic advisors when gas prices would start to come down. It's a fair question and one I'd like an answer to. She answered with a bunch of word salad nonsense and then smiled as if she had done something really great. Well, he held her feet to the fire and said, "You didn't answer this important question. Everyone in the nation wants to know the answer to the question. And who is advising the president on shockingly naive price theory over gallons of gas?" Biden's economic advisor, Miss Bushy, literally had no answer. She was in total shock on national TV. So I guess the host is right. The country is being run by shockingly naive people that can't answer basic questions about U.S. economic policy. I mean, even if you gave us the answer we don't want to hear, you should have an answer. Instead, she froze. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. For over a month now, I've been following international news on the country of Sri Lanka. Last month, they told their people they were running out of money, fuel, and food as a nation. Then yesterday, Sri Lanka announced the country was bankrupt with no ability to buy food, support their currency, secure fuel, or take care of the people. The people are in absolute panic mode as they run out of money, as they run out of food. They can't get to their jobs. So the people of Sri Lanka has had enough with their government leaders, and the people banded together and they attacked the prime minister. They also busted into the president of Sri Lanka's home by the tens of thousands. Tens of thousands of people busted their way into the president's house, which would essentially be the White House over there. And then they went and busted down the gates of the central bank in order to try to get in and get access to what money there was. So let me just roll some footage for you. I really hope the United States is not heading in this direction. We all saw January 6th. It was horrifying. My worry is we're not done with this, right? But, how long are people going to put up with the government causing them problems that they don't have the resources to solve, right? Like, none of us have a money printing machine. I've got a printer right here. It just prints black and white. It doesn't print US dollars, right? And so they're dealing with this in Sri Lanka. The Dutch government, in an attempt to make the country go green faster than it's able, passed new laws that would essentially put farmers out of business and collapse their country's food supply in the name of going green. The farmers, much like the truckers in Canada, have revolted. They are filling the cities with tractors in order to make their voices heard. So basically, they're shutting down the city, and their grocery stores are barren. And they are calling on the government to reverse these laws that will put them out of business and let no food be grown over in Holland. Now, the people are coming together to stand against the government. So I'm going to show you some footage and also some photos. Up in Canada, I'm reading that Prime Minister Justin Trudeau can't hardly leave his home or office without being harassed by people that are sick of being told what to do, having their lives controlled, being told whether they can go to work and provide for their families. So things are getting pretty crazy around the world. Now, I'm going to keep this video short, but I'm seeing uprises in Italy, the Netherlands, France, Canada, and elsewhere as the people are getting sick and tired of living under authoritative government rule. Lastly, the government of Germany announced that there is serious threat of losing social peace as energy prices continue to skyrocket for the German people. Their inflation is much higher than the United States, and their energy costs are like quadruple. I mean, they are just absolutely through the roof, and they don't know what to do with it, and they're worried about civil unrest. So anyway, this is a lot to go over, but I wanted to share with you what's going on, because everything that happens in the world affects us, and it can affect your money and your life, and so I wanted to bring that to your attention. Now, I'm going to leave a link below for the $6,000 giveaway Casey and I are doing, but I want to be respectful of your time. I appreciate you being in my community. Don't forget, you are amazing, and I'll see you on the next video.